There's a hypothesis that saffron, crocus, and Latin zephyrin, in Arabic, is the oldest seasoning on earth. The name of this plant comes from the Greek kroke, which means thread, fiber. From Arabic, saffron is translated as yellow. The history of the plant goes back to the last stage of the Stone Age, the Neolithic, and this period is not earlier than 7,000 years BC. From that moment on, the use of saffron-based paints and rock on the basis of the Neolithic, the history of the Aegean culture begins, the most ancient human civilization, that conquered a period from 3000 to 1200 BC, and existed on the islands and coasts of the Aegean Sea, with the island of Crete at the center of this ancient people. The most famous architectural monument of the Aegean culture is the Palace of Knossos. And his earliest fresco is the Saffron Gather, presumably 1800 to 1700 BC, which depicts a man leaning towards large white blossom. The first written mentions of saffron date back to 3000 years BC. Records of crocus are found in Sumerian cuneiform. The Babylonian Assyrian culture of the Sumerians is also one of the ancient civilizations, consisting of the inhabitants of Mesopotamia, and is located today on the territory of modern Iraq. It is also known that it was in Mesopotamia that saffron was first eaten. Thanks to the rapid development of seafaring during the Crusades of Western European knights against the Gentiles, campaigns of the X-13th centuries, saffron was brought from the east to Western Europe. Subsequently, in Europe, this flower became the personification of wealth and high social status. Later, saffron migrated from Europe to America, and Spain became the first country to actively grow crocus on plantations. Speaking of the earliest references to crocus, here is a selection of historical facts that have come down to our time. The ancient Persians wove threads of crocus into fabrics for ritual sacrifices as early as 10,000 years BC, and also made incense and aromatic oils based on crocus. The soldiers of Alexander the Great used saffron to treat wounds, and Alexander the Great himself liked to add this plant to wine and take. The golden flower is mentioned in the Old Testament as an incense and dye. In Chinese ancient books, saffron is called a miracle drug. The last queen of Egypt, the fatal beauty Cleopatra, who lived in 6930 BC, also loved to take saffron baths. This was one of the secrets of her irresistibility. Egyptian healers widely used crocus to treat diseases of the gastrointestinal tract, and the Egyptians actively used. In England, in Essex, there are ancient ruins of Saffron Walden Castle, 1125 to 1141, named after the crocus grown there. This English area was the center of saffron production in Great Britain. The Phoenicians, an amazing and mysterious Mediterranean people, conducted a successful trade in saffron through the port cities of Tyre and Sidon, now Sur and Sidon, respectively, from where it was transported to western Turkey. In ancient Rome, saffron was used as a medicine and incense. There was even a fashion for cloaks of saffron shades. This flower was considered a real luxury item. It is known that it was thanks to crocus that Nero became emperor. He ordered to sprinkle the roads of Rome with a golden flower, so that ordinary mortals could touch luxury for at least one day, thereby significantly increasing their popularity. After the fall of the Roman Empire, the use of crocus in Europe declined somewhat, but resumed with renewed vigor when the plague epidemic began in the 14th century. Along with the need for other medicines, the use of saffron has also increased. Buddhist monks have long painted their robes with this plant. This custom arose after the death of Buddha Siddhartha Gautama, and to this day the Lama monks, led by the Dalai Lama, are dressed in saffron shades. The crocus flower not only gives a rich color to clothes, it is the personification of a high level of concentration of the spiritual energy of Tibet. There are different theories about the origin of the crocus. Adherents of the generally accepted theory consider the birthplace of the golden flower to be South Asia and date its appearance to the 900–2500 years. The time of the appearance of crocus in China, historians associate with the mention of the plant in Chinese medical treatises from 200 to 300 years. One of the existing theories also speaks of the Indian origin of the flower. Today, saffron is grown in Iran, India, Spain, Greece, France, England, America, and Georgia. Since 1963, the Spanish city of Consuegra has hosted an annual saffron festival. The symbol of the festival, of course, is the crocus. The celebration is timed to coincide with the flowering time of the plant, in mid-autumn. It is in this historical area that 90% of Spanish saffron is harvested, so the indigenous people attach a very high value. During the festival, numerous competitions are held related to the processing of the golden flower, and guests traditionally visit the saffron fields. Recent studies have shown that saffron can reduce the symptoms of Alzheimer's, depression, and PMS. But do not use it in large quantities as it causes a strong dependence. Summing up, I want to say that despite the fact that the price of saffron is simply huge, we must not forget about the huge number of its advantages. And did you know about any historical facts given in this video? If yes, write in the comments what exactly. I also ask you to write your opinion, give objective criticism and suggestions on how to improve the content. I am very grateful to all of you. See you soon.